Okay guys, this is Quandary from RC Park Flying. Picked up a DX18QQ today from radiocontrolshop.ie, and I just wanted to put together a quick video to show the differences between the switches and the sounds between the DX18QQ, the DX18, and the good old trusty DX8. So a lot of people on the internet were wondering about the quality of the switches and the sounds that come out of the devices themselves, so I figured a short video would help people to see what's really going on there. So what I'm going to do is just run through very quickly and show what the startup sound is like, what the switch sounds are like, the beeps that come from the transmitters, etc. And also just give you a close-up of the switches and the gimbals in action, and a commentary on what those are like. So first I'll start the DX8, and you'll hear the startup sound and the switch. Now the DX18. And the QQ. Okay, now if I go into the menu on the DX8 and scroll between and now the DX18, okay, and now the QQ. So to me, the difference between these three radios, I think the DX8 has about a medium volume. The DX18 quite a loud and very acute volume, and the QQ is softer than both, and it has a different pitch. So you can hear that as you're scrolling up in the menu, it sounds different as you scroll down. Now the main switch itself, and pretty much the main switch for the 18QQ and the 18, as far as I can tell, is exactly the same. The switch on the 8 is obviously different. One disadvantage I think of the 18 is that when you turn it off, it leaves up a message talking about registration. Now maybe I've made an error in the registration, or I need to turn that off somehow, but that can get a bit annoying that the screen stays on for a long time. So now for the actual gimbals themselves. You can hear an actual difference there. It's kind of hard to describe the feel of the gimbal for the video. I definitely prefer the 18 over the 8. The 18QQ feels very similar to the 18. Maybe just slightly more tension on the spring. Apart from that, you really can't feel an awful lot. If we take a look at the stick length, you'll notice that actually, as expected, the sticks on the 18 very, very similar. The slider is pretty much the same. No slider on the 8 obviously. the trainer button. Definitely a different button on the QQ. Of those three buttons, the one that I'd prefer the best would be the one on the QQ. It's a bit more committed, I guess you could say. It's a solid click. The switches, as far as I can see, that switch is the same. To me, feels the same. More or less the same. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that more or less the switches to me feel roughly the same, except for the rubber that comes on the QQ, which is a nice addition. Is it worth buying the radio for solely for that? No, it's not, because I hear you can get those at electronic shops, but you know, nonetheless it is nice to have. So that's an overview for you on the comparison of switches and sounds between the DX8, the DX18 and the DX18QQ. An interesting thing I've just seen on my radio is that apparently I seem to have some kind of production fault, because you can see here that the Z is missing from Kike's name. So Kike, if you're watching this, I guess I'll get on to Horizon and see if we can get that sorted out. So anyway guys, that's Quandary from rcparkflying.com signing out, and I'll talk to you on the internet.